Morning, students. I am Dr. Vijay Bhandari, Associate Professor in SIRTS CSE Department. So now I am going to cover the topic spiral model today. So the spiral model is one of the most important software development lifecycle models, which provides support for the risk handling. In its representations, it will look like a spiral with many loops, right? So the exact number of loops of this spiral is unknown and can vary from projects to projects. So each loop of the spiral is called the phase of the software development process. Now we will see in next slides that the exact number of phases needed to develop the product can be varied by the project manager depending upon the project risks. As the project manager dynamically determines the number of phases, so the project manager has an important role to develop a product using an spiral model. So we can say here spiral model is an evolutionary software process model, which is a combination of an iterative nature of prototyping and systematic aspects of traditional waterfall model, as we can see in the diagram or in next slide. Now we will talk about the history. The spiral model was defined by Barry Boehm in the 1988 article. And this model was not the first model to discuss iterative development, but it was the first model to explain why the iteration matters. So the radius of the spiral at any point represents the expenses cost of the projects. It is described by the Barry Boehm. Now the angular dimensions represents the progress made so far in the current phases. So here we will see the when to use the spiral model. So each spiral model is divided into 4 quadrants, as we can see in this figure. You can see here, right? And when the cost and risk evaluation is important for the medium to high risk projects, the users are unsure of their needs, requirements are complex, significant changes are expected. So these are the facts which has to be followed, right? Now I'm discussing here 4-fold procedures, right? So there will be the objectives of determining the identifying the alternative solutions, identifying the resolving the risk, developing the next version of the product, reviewing the plan, the next phases. So here we evaluate the first prototype in terms of its strengths, weaknesses, and risk, right? So defining the requirements of the second prototype, planning and designing the second prototype, and constructing and testing the second prototype here. So in this, the requirements are gathered from the customers and the objectives are identified, elaborated, and analyzed at the start of every phases. Then alternative solutions possible for the phases are, right? So we are discussing here identifying the resolving the risk, right? So is that understand to everyone? Okay. If any doubt, so please put your query on the chat box. Identifying the identifying and resolve the risk, right? So how during this second quadrant, all the possible solutions are evaluated to select the best possible solutions. Then the risk associated with the solutions are identified and risk are resolved using the best possible strategy. So we have to follow this strategy, right? So at the end of this quadrant, the prototype is built for the best possible solutions. Now is it clear to everyone? Now we move to next developing the next version of the product. So during this third quadrant, that identified features are developed and verified through testings. At the end of the third quadrant, the next version of the software will be available. Now we will reviewing and planning for the next phases. So in fourth quadrant, the customers evaluate the so far developed version of the software. So in the end, planning for the next phases is started. How we handle the risk in the spiral model. Now, is that clear to everyone? How we can use the quadrant? Okay. So if any query, so please put your query on the chat box, right? So a prototype is an early sample model released of a product built to test a concept or process or to act as a thing to be replicated or learn from that. So, and this is the prototype. Now we are talking of the quadrant. So you can see here the different quadrants are here, right? That is the risk analysis, software requirements validations, software product designing, verifications, integration, testing plans, and operational types, which I have covered in the previous slide, right? So these are the 4 quadrants we are talking here, right? So here we are handling the risk, customer evaluations, right? And the risk is any adverse situations that might affect the successful completions of the software projects. The most important features of the spiral model is handling these unknown risks after the project has started. Such risks like resolutions are easier done by the developing a prototype, and the spiral model supports coping with the risk by the providing the scope to build a prototype at every phases of the software development, right? So we can say here the prototyping model also supports risk handling, but the risk must be identified completely before the start of the development work of the projects. But in real life, project risk may occur after the development work starts. In that cases, we cannot use a prototyping model. In each phase of the spiral model, the features of the product dated and analyzed, and the risk at the point in the time are identified and is resolved through prototyping. So we can say this model is much more flexible compared to other software development lifecycle models. Now the question arises in our mind, why spiral model is called the meta model? In this figure, you can see here the spiral model is called a meta model because it subsumes all the other SDLC model. For example, a single loop spiral actually represents a iterative waterfall model. The spiral model incorporates a stepwise approach of the classical waterfall model, and the spiral model uses the approach of the prototyping model by the building a prototype at the start of each phases as a risk handling techniques, right? So the spiral model can be considered as a supporting the evolutionary model, right? Now we move to next slide. Planning. We have seen the planning, risk analysis. We have discussed with risk analysis, engineering, customer evaluations, right? Applications. Now we move to the applications and advantages of the spiral model. So a spiral model is used most often in large projects. For a smaller project, the concept of agile software development is becoming a viable alternative, and is also reasonable to use the spiral model in projects where business goals are unstable. So here the advantages of a spiral model. What are the advantages? Risk handling, right? Good for the large projects, right? Flexibility in the requirement, right? Customer satisfaction, right? So these are the basic and major advantages of the spiral model. And the disadvantages of the spiral model, right? The disadvantage of the spiral model is the first disadvantage of that complexity, expensive, too much dependability on the risk analysis, and difficult to time management, right? So end of the project may not be known early, not suitable for the small or low risk projects, and could be expensive for the small projects. Process complex. Spiral may go indefinitely. Risk assessments expertise is required. So difficult to manage in time management, as the number of phases is known at the start of the project. So time estimation is very difficult. Too much dependability. The successful completion of the project is very much dependent on the risk analysis. Without very highly experienced experts, it is going to be a failure to develop a project using this model. Very expensive. Spiral model is not suitable for this small project as it is expensive. Complexity is the spiral model is much more complex than other SDLC models, right? So thank you. If any doubts, so please put your query on the chat box. I will clear it. So here I conclude in the lecture. We introduced the spiral model with history and advantages and disadvantages of the spiral model, and what are the objectives, determinations, and identifying alternative solutions, how we identify the resolved risk, developing next version of the product, and reviewing the planning the next phases. So thank you everyone. If any doubts, so please ask me. Thank you.